Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I have been collecting thoughts on some interesting things that I've been hearing and reading and seeing, and friends tagging me in posts and things that I feel very strongly about, not just as an herbalist and steward of the land, but as a farmer and a rancher. I'm out walking in one of our pastures with our cows, checking on the calves, feeding them for the day, looking at how happy they are running around, looking at their poop on the ground, looking at their urine on the ground, knowing that that is putting key nutrients into our soil. Hi, Mama. And this makes me think about the complete circle that a farm and a ranch creates when done mindfully, as we do. These cows, though they aren't native to this specific region in the world, Wyoming, they are a nourishing component of the land. Where cows, ruminants, elk, antelope, deer, bison, they have all been here for a lot longer than we have, and they are a key component to a healthy and nourished ecosystem. There they are in the background. Look at those good faces. And they have a healthy life with us. And I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for what we're doing and what most of the ranchers and farmers that we know in our area are doing, which is easing on the edge of regenerative ag, where we are nourishing the ground. We grow a variety of crops that all get rotated, and alfalfa being a key crop in that rotation, which is a perennial, which has a massive root system that goes deep into the ground, pulling nutrients up, bringing it into its foliage, and then we feed it to the cows. But those plants not only feeding our cows that come from our land, they are also nourishing our bodies through the sunlight that they make into nutrients that then the cows eat, turn into nutrients through meat and fat. We grow all the feed for our cows. It comes from the farm. It doesn't travel far. And my other point with the alfalfa is that is also nourishing the land that it is growing on, so that it gets it prepared for when we're growing beans and when we're growing barley and when we're growing some corn as feed. So this model is not, we are working on it being more and more sustainable and more regenerative every year. But our ground is taken care of, it is tended to, and our cows are taken care of and tended to. And when you have an entire system in a farmscape, the land is nourished, the community is nourished, we and our bodies are nourished, and the life of these cows is a full circle life. They are giving back to the land as much as they are taking from it, as they eat, as they poop and pee everywhere, as they stomp into the ground those excrements. And then you can see the mountains kind of behind me. It's kind of rainy today, which is nice. But they go out into the peaks behind me, and they're on pasture all 8 months out of the year. So then they're out, and the grassland out there is also nourished, is also revitalized by their presence. And I'm getting a little, I know there are a lot of people who eat differently, right? We all have different bodies, and as an herbalist, I fully understand that every single body is different. Every single person needs a different scope of nutrients and a different scope of energy. And I and my husband and my family, we eat meat. We eat a lot of meat, not like absurd, but we eat a lot of meat. I cook with I cook with animal fats, whether that be tallow that I render from our pigs, or beef fat, or even I've rendered a lot of elk fat, and it is delicious and highly nutritious. We eat all the things that come from these animals. We have our butchers save us the beef bones, and when we butcher our wild game, we save the bones and we save all the organ meats and we eat them. And we feel nourished by that. And I know a lot of people are not feeling nourished by meat, and that is fine. However, we as human beings, we developed our big, awesome brains by eating a lot of vitamin B12, and vitamin B12 comes from meat. And that nourishes our ability to grow a brain and use it to work with the land, right? We can use that to work with the land. And I've seen the stuff that I'm seeing that has me feeling that I need to speak about these things is, I'm really concerned with certain enormous individuals, enormous bank account to individuals who are pushing an agriculture system that we already know does not work. We already know does not nourish the land, only depletes the soil more, and that is thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of monoculture. Thousands of acres of one or two crops that can't be rotated in a holistic manner. We've already discovered that. That's how the Dust Bowl in the Midwest happened, was with monoculture. And when we take something that's just a protein to be processed into something that might resemble food, but really, when you look at the ingredients of said manufactured food, it's manufactured. It's man created, instead of just eating vegetables that come from the earth, that instead of eating a cow from a farmer that you know was taken care of, eating some chickens. We're about to be starting to sell chickens too, meat birds, that get nourished, that get taken care of, that get fed happy, healthy food that comes from the same farm. When we look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is monoculture of these thousands and thousands of acres that have been recently purchased and recently owned by one individual who is very much blatant about the production that is going to be put into this. So this monoculture system, which we already know as farmers doesn't work. We rotate for many, many, many reasons, and that being pests, that being disease, but that also being the depletion that happens in the soil from growing one crop on top of the other, and then the same crop on top of that, and the same crop. It's not a complete system. Look at nature. Nature has crops everywhere, and they overlap each other and they blanket each other, and the forest is glorious. And I love these cows. I love them. I love our chickens and our pigs. They are a part of our family. Our horses are a part of the family. And we love them. And we want to raise them right so that we can eat right, so that people can eat right, so that our communities are nourished. And this monoculture, what is the word I'm looking for? Chore time has me still kind of sleepy. I apologize. But The monoculture system doesn't work, and these factory made supposed foods are created with a monoculture system, and as that grows, our soil depletion grows, and our communities suffer, our farmers suffer, our ranchers suffer. It makes everything, it's already very expensive to run a farm, and to run it correctly, to run it in a mindful manner, and these monoculture systems coming through only make that even worse. The gap will get bigger, not smaller. And you think about the factories too. What kind of waste, what kind of pollution, all the things that they create in a factory setting. If we send all these foods that we're growing in a monoculture setting, in this huge monoculture cropping system, send them to a factory, there's trucking, there's the factory waste, there's all the things, and I know that a lot of this is based off of global climate shift, climate changing issues, which I am not a denier of at all. The cattle industry, there was, studies produced many years ago that showed that the cattle industry created 18% of the entire climate crisis shifting. But that study was from biased sources, right? I posted a video a few days ago from a lovely young woman who is also speaking about these things, and that study was debunked more recently, that the exact cattle industry is only a 4%. It's like a 3.89, something like this, 4%. So when we look at the big picture includes trucking, it includes enormous feedlots. That this is not it. This is not a feedlot. This is a pasture where our cows are roaming around, eating, foraging. We do feed them because we live in Wyoming and it's hard to grow forage all year. We're, again, working on those things, but we have to look at the entire picture. We have to look at what is nourishing this body versus what is nourishing another body. But what the most important piece, what is nourishing the body of the earth that is our home? We already know what does not do that, and that is monocropping, monocrop farms and monocropping systems. It doesn't work. And these cows behind me, they're happy, healthy cows. They are nourished. They are nourishing our bodies very well, and they don't travel far from us, but they do go into industry. But it would be really, really awesome if, like, say, the few families that do run cows in our area, if we were all able to provide to our direct community. And what if that model worked all over the place? There's a lot of things, there's other things that I've seen that is just like really upsetting, but this is the main thing, and it's understanding where your food comes from. It's understanding what a farm and a ranch really look like when they are in small scale, when they are in a small family, when that is controlled, we're able to nourish the land while keeping our cows happy and healthy, and that produces happy and healthy food for us to consume. And I am an herbalist, I am a farmer, and I eat meat. Like I said, I eat those things because my body wants it. My body is nourished by it. My brain feels vital and happy and healthy. Now, if I were eating some shitty meat from a store, probably not so much, and probably not. But because I know where my food comes from, and the people who buy from our farm know where their food comes from, we are nourished by it. And I guess I just want to invite you all to challenge your understanding of what this actually looks like and get the bigger picture. And I feel like I could talk about this forever, so we will get more videos going on this, but I thank you for listening, and can't stress more to know exactly where your food comes from. Challenge the ingredient list, and I'll talk to you soon.